When a newsroom is sustained by its readers, it is incentivized to give the best to its readers. This is where the strength of journalism is. Capital is a world-class media publication in Bulgaria. Deep in our DNA is our expertise in business and finance, and also our taste for investigations. This is how we started in 1993, when it was only a couple of years after the collapse of the communist regimes in Eastern Europe, and people knew very little about how market economy actually worked, and they were facing huge transformations in their lives. So they lost their jobs, then they lost their savings, and they faced hyperinflation and corruption and fraud, and all this transition was very confusing and difficult to understand, and the role of capital was in fact to explain how that worked, why things which happened has happened, and this is when we gained the trust of the people. And we had to find a way to be sustainable in what we do in our journalism. And that's why we focused our strategy in the past years on digital subscriptions. And FT were one of the best. We have always been trying to learn from the best. And we are very grateful for Google supporting us to take this program with FT Strategies. This was an excellent world-class consultancy on how to develop our digital subscription strategy.
As a doctor, they came to us and looked at our data, looked at our processes, products, and gave an autopsy of what we do good, what we do wrong, and that was very impressive. As a modern organization, you should have cross-functional teams, otherwise everybody's rowing in different direction, and it's much harder to achieve your goals. I think the FT strategy and Google program really canonized this. We have this cross-functional team that is working editorial, business, and tech, but also there are all of other people inside the company, like some of the journalists. And what we started doing is some of the things that we discuss on these meetings, they go into a newsletter which goes out from Gala, our CEO, every month. So everybody in the company knows what we are working on and why we do this and what's planned, and they feel more involved in their work.
I was a journalist, an editor, and I was focused on content, working closely with digital business department and the product teams. I understand that we have to work together. Of course, we learn to talk to each other, to discuss the problems, to confess when something is not working or it's good, and most important, to experiment. We learn from the FT and Google these new metrics, the recency, frequency, and volume, and quality reads. And they make a huge change in understanding the value of content when it comes to data, to metrics. When you see your article is convertible and many subscriptions, you are very happy for that.
The most inspiring thing is once again to see the journalists can believe that with their direct efforts they can make it happen, and that our readers can, deciding to subscribe for Capital, they show that we really matter and that we present real value for them. We needed more structure and we needed more knowledge, and we needed a firmer belief that we can base our strategy entirely on digital subscription, and this is exactly what we got from this program. When people see the goal and when they believe it's possible, then everyone's so empowered and the organization is so much more vivid.